What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video of Super Chesters. 2 weeks ago, I played a tournament in Chicago called Chicago Open, and I decided to take a risk and play up two sections from where I should have played, and I ended up playing the U2300 section. So, Chicago Open was a 7 round tournament, but I only ended up playing 5 of the rounds because I was busy on Monday. But still, there's a lot to learn from these games, so let's dive right into it. Okay, so I'm playing Kevin Zhu, who is 300 points higher than me. And I was also playing in the 3 day schedule. So the time control was 1 hour with the 5 second delay. So I didn't get any time added. So delay is basically where I get 5 seconds to think before I start losing time. And I started getting time added after the second game since the since my schedule merges with the other schedule. And I was also being pretty clumsy as well. I showed up 10 minutes late to round one, and I wasn't keeping track of my time. Okay, let's get right into it. So, first, I begin the game with knight of three. My hoping to play for a king's Indian attack. He responds with knight f6. I go g3. He goes d5. I go bishop g2, and he goes c6. This is all mainline stuff, except now it kind of looks like a Slav. Um, so now I castle, and now he goes queen c7, and I play d4, and the idea of d4 is to stop e5 from ever happening. Now we all play the top engine moves. He goes bishop f5, I go c4, he goes e6, I go knight c3, and he goes knight to d7. So now the engine is saying that I'm +1, so I'm better here. Um, so it's saying that I have to kick his bishop out. Oh, it lied. Now it's going down to plus 0.6. Okay, so the idea of knight h4 is to obviously kick the bishop out. So, oh, now it's going to plus 1.2. That's weird. And now it just went to plus 0.5. Okay, so it's to kick the bishop out, and it's to also open this bishop out. I mean, my bishop out. My bishop is kind of like a sniper controlling the this diagonal, and I did not play that. I did not go knight h4 honestly because I thought that after he goes bishop g6, and say I trade, this file looks strong for him. He can always just castle queenside. So that's why I did not like going knight h4. But I realized I didn't have to take and didn't know what I was doing. Okay, so after knight h4, I decided I decided to take instead. That is still fine. Um, and now I bring my bishop to f4 to start attacking his queen and put a bit of pressure on him. He goes queen b6, and now the engine is still saying that knight h4 is a move. Let's analyze it. So after I go knight h4, it goes bishop e6, and then it's saying I go e4. That's actually such a crazy move, because say he takes. Oh, wow. Then after pawn takes and pawn takes, even though he's up upon, my pieces are still more active, and his pieces aren't even developed yet. Okay, so anyways, I missed that and go b3 instead. So now he's starting to get a bit better. Now he goes bishop b4 to attack my knight. So I respond with bishop d2. I should have just played knight a4 to attack his queen. Then he goes his bishop, brings his bishop back to d6, and I go to rook e1, trying to control the e file. He goes knight e4 with the intention of winning my bishop. So I take, of course, and then he takes back, and then I decide to go bishop c3. So this bishop acts like a sniper as well, and the g7 square is a threat if he ever castles. So now he goes f5, and I just realized that his bishop is pretty weak when he played f5, because the bishop has nowhere to move. So I should have just went bishop h3 and say he went knight f6, then after knight g5, wait, no, not knight g5, queen d2, he castles. I mean, after knight, okay, whatever else. After knight g5, his bishop is pretty weak, basically. So, anyways, I did not do that, of course. I was being silly. Now he castles. I go knight g5 now, and I should have won bishop h3 first, because he can always just take my bishop, and then his position is way better because now the rooks are controlling both of the files, and I only have one rook controlling the e file, so there's pretty much nothing for me. So now I go queen c2, stopping him from going f4 since queen h7 is just an 8. So now he goes queen d8 to attack my knight. I go h4. This not only supports the knight, but I can also push my pawn to h6 and make his kingside a bit weak. So now he goes knight f6. I go rook h1. He goes queen c7. I go rook h3. He goes knight g4. So now I see that he's starting to bring more pieces into the game. So I go bishop d2. So this doesn't end up becoming a, wait, no, not that. So if I were to be careless, this doesn't ever become a sacrifice, because after that he just wins my queen. Oh my god. Okay, where was I? So I went bishop d2, he goes queen e7, so now here he's starting to bring more pieces into the game, so I have to play a bit of defense or find a way to have counterplay. Now I go rook e1, so f4 is never a threat. He goes h6, so I have to bring my knight to f3. Now he goes queen e4, and I didn't take the queen, because if I were to, and say I move my knight, then he just wins my bishop. So I move my queen back to d1. He goes rook f6, so I can see that he's thinking about going rook g6 to start attacking me. So I stopped that with h5. So now he goes back to rook f8, and I go bishop c3. We're just shuffling pieces. He goes rook d8. I go rook e2. He goes rook d7. I go rook e1, and he goes queen e8. I go queen c2. He goes rook d7. I go bishop e2, and we're basically making no progress here. We're just shuffling pieces around. So now he goes knight f6, and I got into time pressure here, so I did not see that he was gonna win a free pawn, so I just hung that pawn. So now it was basically just wraps for me when I went to rook h1, because this rook is basically not able to do anything. It can only move on the h file. Um, and now I went queen d1. He went knight g4. I went rook h5. He went queen g6. We're still shuffling pieces, but so now I went rook h3. He went rook e6. I went knight h4 to attack his queen. He goes queen f7. I go knight to f3. Goes queen e8. I go rook h4. Goes rook g6. I go king f1. He goes queen e4. I go king g back to g2. He goes rook f6. I go king f1. So I kept moving my king back and forth because I was hoping for a draw here, because I had like 7 minutes here, I think. So now here I missed a critical move. I should have just went knight g5 here. Now the idea of that is that you cannot take my knight because I just mate you. And that's still not a fork, because you can still go queen d3 check and he's still fine. But I should have just went knight g5, because the position is just better for him. He's not like winning. So after that, I just went king g2, and now he goes g5, and now I can see the pawns are storming my king side. So now I go to rook h5, hoping to sacrifice my rook sometime. Now he goes rook g7. Now this kind of prevents me from not being able to sack. So now I go queen e2. I had nothing to do here. He goes f4. Now I'm letting him storm my king side, so I have to start defending. So I go rook f1. He goes rook e6. I go rook e1, and he takes. I take knight f6. I take, and now he played g4, and I just resigned here because I was completely losing. So honestly, here I should have just I should have just showed up on time to my game instead of being clumsy and showing up late. I think that's what honestly made me lose this game. I could have played a bit better if I showed up earlier. Okay, let's go on to round 2. Okay, so round 2, I'm playing against Anish Sodala, and I was only 100 points higher than him. So he begins the game with e4. Wait, let me flip the board because I'm playing as black. So I play e5. He goes knight f3. I go knight c6, and I was hoping for Italian here, but he plays the 4 knights, which kind of annoyed me. So he goes bishop b5. He didn't play the 4 knight scotch, luckily. That annoys me even more. So after that, I go knight d4, and he retreats his bishop back, which was interesting. So now I go d6, so I can bring this bishop out to g4. So now he goes d3. So now I took his bishop. He took back with his queen. So now I am able to go bishop g4 at some point. So now I just play solid, develop my pieces. He goes h3, I castle, he castles, I play c6, he goes knight h2, which was kind of a peculiar move, but I think his idea was to play f4, which I saw that. Now he goes rook e8. Now I go rook e8. He goes bishop g5, and now I missed an easy tactic. So after knight takes, I was just a bit better here, but I was just up a pawn. So now he goes. So now, if you were to go bishop takes e7, I go knight takes c3, and say he was to take my queen, I take back with check, and now I'm just completely winning. He probably wouldn't do that anyways. So after takes, and rook takes, even though I'm up a pawn, my position is just better for me. So I go c6, win. So instead I go bishop e6, he goes queen e2, queen d2, now I cannot play the tactic anymore. So I go h6, he goes bishop to e3, which I noticed was a mistake because now I can go d5, and d5 with the idea of putting my pawn to d4 at some point and probably fork his bishop at knight. So he took my pawn, and I don't know what I was thinking, and I took back with the knight. So I should have just took it instead. I think I didn't do that because I didn't like e4 and d4 and e4, and my position is kind of closed here, so that's why I didn't like it. And also his knight can maneuver like that and start attacking my bishop, so I decided to go knight takes instead. He goes king h1, which was also a bit of a mistake because now I can just go first I took the bishop, of course, and then I started to pin his knight to the queen. So now this pawn becomes a target. So he goes a3, I took the knight, he takes back, and then I take the pawn. And now he's starting to go after my e-pawn. I go bishop e5, so he goes rook e1, I go queen f4, goes rook takes, I go f6, he takes the rook, I take the rook back, and now he goes queen d4, and here my position was going to be better because I just win a pawn after I take and go c5, and if he does something like this, I have the brilliant move bishop takes g2 check. So if he were to take if he takes and I take, then I'm just going to, not only am I up a pawn, but my rook is gonna come to the 7th rank and be like Pac-Man and start winning the pawns. So now he goes rook b4, I go b6 to defend. To defend the pawn. He goes d4, so I take his pawn. Now I'm up 2 pawns. He goes king g2, I go rook d3. He goes king f2, I go rook c3. He goes king e2. Now he's trying to attack my rook, so I start bringing my king to the center. So I go king f7. He goes rook a4, and now I go a5. So now here his rook was pretty bad here because the rook can do anything. So now he goes b4. So I go rook. So I first trade, and then go rook c 4 to pin the pawn to the rook. So he has to, so he started attacking my rook, so I go b5 to support it. So now he goes rook a7 check. Um, I go king e6, and now I'm slowly starting to advance my king to the center. So he takes the pawn. I take the pawn, and now he goes rook g6. Now I go um king d5. I win a pawn, so now I'm just up 2 pawns. And the endgame is much better for me. So um I I started advancing my pawns and just won the game. So honestly, I should have just played a bit more cautious because I missed an easy tactic where I could have won a pawn, but I got lucky and he started to make tiny mistakes. So I ended up being up 2 pawns. That might not happen again. My opponent could just see it next time and not blunder. Okay, let's go back to let's go to round 3 now. Okay, so round 3, I was playing against Michael Perry, and in terms of rating, he is the strongest opponent I've played for day 1. So I begin the game with knight f3, hoping for a king's Indian attack. He goes d5, I go g3, he goes knight f6, I go bishop g2, he goes knight d7. So now I see that he is thinking about pushing his pawn to e5, so I end up going d4 instead. He goes e6, I castle, he goes bishop e7, I go c4, he goes e6, I go b3, and he castles, and this is pretty much just a Catalan, except I didn't go d4 in the beginning. I go bishop to b2, he goes knight e4, and this move was kind of annoying because the knight is controlling the c3 square and the d2 square, and then so I just want to take that knight off. So now he just went f5, and now his position was just strong. So because if I were to take, then he can easily bring his pieces out and then start attacking me. So I did not take the knight. Instead, I just went e3 to stop f4. He goes bishop f6. I go rook e1. He goes queen c7. I go queen c2. And now he's slowly starting to attack me. So he goes g5. So now I had to make a move that doesn't trap my knight. So I just go knight b1. Now he goes g4. I go knight d2. He goes bishop g7. And now I go knight c3. So my idea was to bring my knight on the d5 square, because my knight is acting like a blockade, trying to control critical squares like d7 and f7. So now I bring my rook to c1. We're just shuffling pieces. So now I think now he goes queen f7. So his point is to probably start attacking me by bringing his. So assuming the bishop wasn't there, bringing his pawn to f3 and queen to h3 and mating me soon. So I go knight e2. He goes bishop d7. I go knight f4. He goes h5. So now I'm able to bring my knight to the d5 square. So I go knight f1. We're just shuffling pieces. So now I take. He takes back with the e pawn. I go queen e2. He goes h3. I go bishop h1. he goes rook e8, I go knight d2, he goes knight g5, and now I'm trying to bring my knight to e5 so I can like block him from bringing his pieces into action. He goes rook c8, I go knight e5 now, and now I'm starting to attack his queen and bishop. So now I go bishop a3 to prevent him from bringing his rook to f8 or e7. So now he goes rook d8, I go bishop b2, he goes knight f7, now I go knight d3, he goes b6 to prevent my knight from going to c5, so we're just shuffling pieces back and forth. Bishop a3, knight h5, queen d1, knight to e6, bishop b2, rook c8, a4, a5, and now here's where things get really interesting. I don't want to spoil the interesting move, but you'll see it later. He goes king h8, I go bishop b2, he goes rook c7, I go bishop c3, he goes rook c8, I go bishop b2, and he goes king h7, I go bishop c3, knight f6, and I moved my bishop back and forth like 5 times, which was pretty funny. So now I go knight e5, I'm controlling the d7 and f7 square still. He moved his bishop back to e8, thinking that I wouldn't take his bishop. So now I go back to bishop b2, he goes c5, and now after knight d3, I just blundered here because now he has c4 with the idea that if I were to take and then he takes back, I take, he takes with the rook, I take with the rook, and then he takes back with the rook, he just wins a pawn and his position is just better. So he does not go, I mean he goes c4, but I go knight f4, and he was supposed to go queen d7 so he could still win this pawn. So now he goes queen f7, I go bishop a3 to attack his knight, his knight takes the outpost on e4, I take with the knight, he takes with the pawn. I think he should have just, oh wow, I just blundered here. He should have taken with the d pawn, and even though I have d5, he takes, I take with the queen, he takes with the rook, I take with the bishop, and boom, he's just going to win my pawn back at some point, and my pieces have nowhere to go. They're just stuck there. So let's go back to where I was. So he takes with the f pawn instead. I go bishop d6. Now I'm trying to bring my pieces into the game and start attacking his king side. He finally takes. I take with the rook. He takes back with the rook, and I take the pawn. And now he goes rook c4, and it's too late now because after I trade, we have an equal amount of pieces still. But he should have just taken, honestly. Oh, he still wins. I still won that pawn. I missed that. So I'm up a pawn now, but he's still better. So now he goes bishop c6, and I win a pawn back. And now here's where he blundered. He went queen d7. I think it's because he had like 5 seconds on the clock now. So now I found the beautiful tactic. Bishop takes e4 check. Now the point is that if he were to take, I go queen f5 check to win his bishop. So now he goes king h8. I take the bishop, and now here I'm just on top of the world. So he tries to trade off queens. I was like not so fast. So since he has 1 second, I'm trying to mate him. So instead, I just win his queen, and here he resigns. I think he shouldn't have spent so much time because he had a winning position, and I think he didn't find it because he was he had less time. If he played a bit more faster, he probably could have won the game. So based on these games, I learned that I should just not play too quick, and I should play a, a bit slower, um, and show up on time to my games, so I'll have enough time, and also not play too quick because I won't miss silly tactics. I'll see you guys later for day 2. Peace.